Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us either via LinkedIn or YouTube. Your time is valuable, so we will get started straight away. Welcome to our B2B Lead Generation course, and thank you to those people who are here because they're considering engaging with us for our lead generation training or any of our other courses. I'll be giving a very brief overview of how we work with clients at the end of the video. Please use the Q&A function throughout the session if you've got any questions. However, we typically run out of time in these things, so if I don't get a chance to answer your question, please use the comment section if you're watching this via YouTube later, or the LinkedIn event page section, which is where you signed up for this particular event. So, uh, lead generation. When we think about B2B lead generation, there are obviously your outbound strategies and your inbound strategies. Many companies are doing both, and I would suggest if you're not, then you should be doing both outbound and inbound. It's not a choice between one or the other. They should be working in combination with each other, and they should complement and work together. So 5 hacks is what we're here for. I would suggest that the first 4 hacks would typically be traditional sales orientated outbound lead generation, and the fifth hack, number 5, is focused on inbound lead generation. But they absolutely complement each other and work together. So hack number 1, the recommended search. What I'd like you to do is if you could open your browser, skip over to Google, open a new Google browser and move to your LinkedIn profile, your homepage on LinkedIn. And if you could then just navigate up to that search bar in the top left hand corner, right? And once you've got there, if you could just give me a thumbs up in the chat so that I know that you're ready to go. Okay, so what I would like you to do is in that top search box, the top left of your LinkedIn page, type in recommended. Now, don't type in sales trainer because you're not a sales trainer, but type in whatever it is that you do. So recommended IFA, recommended software provider, recommended pension specialist, whatever it is you do. Now you'll have to play around with this because people use different words, and sometimes they'll be searching by the individual, if you like, in terms of the job title, but equally they could be searching by using the solution, how they would describe the solution. So you can see here, when we do recommend, can anybody recommend sales trainer? That's what we're trying to pick up here, and you can see straight away we've got people looking for a sales trainer. And this is live. Often salespeople, as salespeople, we're struggling because of timing. How do we know when somebody's in the market for our value proposition at any one time? This is getting people who are absolutely in the market as we speak. Now, I know you're going to say, but wait a minute, Ian, there's lots of competition. It's almost like what I would describe as a pile on. Listen, every deal that we're competing with, you're up against the competition. It's just the benefit of this is you actually see who you're competing against. So, our job in sales is to beat the competition, is to go out and win these leads. So, the fact that there are other people being recommended and you may not even be one of those, that's okay, right? We're in sales. Our job is to go out and find leads and convert them. So, here's another example where I've changed the wording from sales trainer to sales coach. And again, you can see, can anyone recommend a rock star sales coach? You can see the text here. I'm not for 1 minute saying I'm a rock star sales coach. However, right, all of a sudden we've got a lead here that I can follow up on. Next up is here's one, and a simple example I done on Friday when I was putting this together. Can anyone recommend a CRM? So if you're selling CRM, right, immediately we can see people who are looking for CRM recommendations for a CRM system. So it will take you a little bit of experimentation, a little bit of time, but I promise that this works. This absolutely works. Here's another one here, looking for recommendations, good sales coaches or motivational speakers. So this is what we call the recommended hack, and it's applicable to anybody. I cannot imagine any industry where you will not be able to use this search. So can I have a thumbs up in the comments in the chat if you think this is something that you can use in your business to generate sales leads? So in the chat, in the comments, if you can just give me a thumbs up to let me know that this is something that you can use. Great, thank you. So hack number 2, B2B lead generation. Now, this I, I see people. There's a lot of really good sales information out there, and unfortunately, the basic stuff, which is often the most important, gets ignored. It really does get ignored. Now, if you cannot differentiate yourself between your competitors, right? Your products and services, what happens is the buyer sees a herd of zebras. Everybody looks the same. And if you're the buyer and all the vendors look the same, there is one point of differentiation that the buyer will always default to, and that's price. So if you're getting beaten up on price, if you're struggling to beat your competition and wondering why you're even at the same being considered with the competition, it's typically because there's a lack of differentiation. And remember, and this is the difficult bit, it's easy for us to think, well, we're different in some particular way. It's not about us, it's about the customer. And they've got to see something different in us. So differentiation is hugely important. So on LinkedIn, everywhere, on your website, in your sales proposals, right, you can see here, right, this person here has basically downloaded some templates from Google, right, and they're just firing out these templates willy-nilly. If you look at the text here, hello, how are you? Your career is awesome. That person doesn't know me. They know nothing about me, right? Why would I believe them? Why would you try and start a sales relationship based on a lie? Just don't do it. It's never going to work, right? Why would you try and start a sales relationship without being authentic and real? Now, your career is awesome. You didn't look at my LinkedIn profile. You didn't refer to anything in my LinkedIn profile about jobs that I've done. You didn't look at the website or tell me anything about the business that I run. So there is no personalization here whatsoever, right? And you just fall into that bracket of looking like everybody else who's trying to sell on LinkedIn but doesn't actually know what they're doing. So don't use templates. We never give away our messaging templates because the minute we do, they lose their value. Why would we give away the gold dust, right, that our clients are actually paying for, because it devalues our service to them as well? Every customer we get has got different messaging bespoke to them, right? So please don't use templates if you're trying to sell on LinkedIn. Next up, it's really funny. The older I get, the fatter I get, the more grey hair I get, the more beautiful young girls want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Now, it's not this lady's fault that she's beautiful. However, this pension company has got an employee profile to rival a Miss World lineup. Now, again, that's not their fault. That could be their hiring policy. However, many of the profile photos are actually stock photographs. They're stock photos, which makes me think that this individual here doesn't even exist. And again, I go back to you, right? And the question is, why would you want to start any form of relationship without the truth, right? And why would I want to trust a pension company with my pension, right? If they're not prepared to be honest, open, and upfront with me. Is that the sort of company that I would trust my pension with? I don't think so. Next up, do not spray, this spray and pray. So if we look at this here, immediately in the job title, right? Now, this isn't a job title. They've been on some LinkedIn training course and somebody said to them, oh, you need to have what it is you actually do in the job title. Well, guess what? I look at that and I immediately go, oh, this is somebody that wants to sell to me. This is somebody that wants to sell to me. Now, the more you try and sell, the more unsuccessful you will be. So the minute I see this, I immediately hit ignore. I'm never going to connect to this person because I know the minute I connect, they're going to try and pitch to me. Right? And if for no other reason that, but let me add on to this. Look at what they're selling. They're selling, will help you. It helps coaches generate high quality leads. We do lead generation training for a living. So they're trying to sell fish to a fisherman here. Their chances of being successful selling me lead generation when I sell lead generation for a living, right, are slim. So look at your job title, right? And if you've been on some LinkedIn training course, with the greatest respect, right? You think about it. If you're the other end receiving this, right? Would you like to receive a message that is telling you, "I'm coming to sell to you. You're in my radar. You're on my radar, right? I've got you in my crosshairs, and I'm coming to sell to you." You're much less likely to accept. So, on that premise, if it walks, talks, and squawks like a duck, it's a duck, guys. The most important person is the prospect, not us. Right? We've got to get away from talking about us. We've got to get away from things necessarily about how we do and think about all the time. We've got to be providing value. So you go on LinkedIn. I was on some webinars last week, and for example, the presenter starts off and there's 10 to 12 minutes about the bio, running through the bios of all the presenters. With the greatest respect, who cares? Right? I would encourage you to watch back the recording of this session and see how quickly we got on to trying to deliver value. Look at the timeline, and we tried within seconds, not minutes, to try and start delivering value for you. Right? I'm the least important person here. Right? Do you want to log on to a webinar and see the logos of all the companies we sold to? The my story about how I was fat and now I'm thin, how I'm rich, how I was poor and now I'm rich, how I married a supermodel, and how I raise money for homeless children. All those stories and everything. They're following this formula that somebody's come up with, and it's the same formula all the time. And as a presenter, as a salesperson, you're not the most important person. The conversation should be focused around the customer, how you can help them, how you can deliver value. So, and if you're interested in me in any way, shape, or form, I know that people will go to the website and look on the website. So it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. They will go to the website if they've got any interest, and you're welcome to do so. But I promise, all you'll find about me is I'm completely unremarkable. I'm just an ordinary person. This other phrase that salespeople are all using now, let's get on a call and see if you qualify. Well, do we really expect prospects to? Do we really think that a prospect wants to go through a qualification process? Think about it psychologically. Well, you're either going to qualify or you're not going to qualify. Now, when you qualify, it sends a message that you're not good enough in some way, shape, or form, and that's just not. It's just not the right language, even if nobody else was using it. But your problem is that there's 11,557 people in your region, all going around, all salespeople going around. Oh, let's jump on a call and see if we can qualify, or let's see if we're a good fit. If it walks, talks, and squawks like a duck, it's a duck. And I repeat, the harder you're going to try and sell people, the more resistance you're going to get, and the more unsuccessful you'll be. Now, I would encourage you to be completely open and upfront, and we'll tell you in advance what our qualification is. It's on the website. We're completely upfront about it. Right. Number one, you've got to be in B2B. Everything we do is focused around B2B. Number two, you've got to be hungry. Hungry and motivated for your own success. And number three, you've got to be open and committed to changing the sales process, sales behaviors that you're currently doing for the strategies and tactics that we're going to show you. So, right? Those things are super important because without those, we can't help anybody. But we tell everybody up front, and it's as simple as that. Now, the great thing about being open and upfront is that you only start to get calls from those sorts of people. Now, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't have an ICP, an ideal client profile, but I would encourage you to do as much as you can to get your prospects to disqualify themselves. I don't want to spend my time qualifying people. I would much rather people went on our website and went, oh, look, that's just not for us. That's not what we're looking for. That's not the right price bracket. He's not the right trainer for us. I would much rather people went on and actually disqualified themselves because we're not for everybody, and I understand it. But so by all means have an ICP, but also be upfront and encourage people to disqualify themselves. And when you get this right, I promise you, you only get calls from the right sorts of people. So this is an appointment, and people can book on into my diary online in certain areas of the website. So I don't get any tire kickers booking in my diary. This is a CEO of a 100-person small to medium-sized business who wanted to discuss consultative sales training for around, I think it's six, seven, 8 people. Now, how cool is that? A qualified sales lead, right, booking themselves into my diary. Now, you will actually find that some of the people on this webinar, right, are actually from that same organization. They're, on this webinar to check out if we're the right organization, training partner for them, which is great. And, it's not just that, we've got people coming to us from live chat. So if you can see here, this particular person is from Paris. This is a software company in Paris looking for training in London. I'm up here in Edinburgh, and we're getting leads from everywhere, right? We're getting leads from everywhere. So that's the great thing about being online and the new world, whereby we're not necessarily stuck to our traditional patches. We can sell to anybody anywhere in the world. We've got clients in North America, Singapore, got clients in Canada. The world literally is your oyster, guys, and think big. And again, we get clients coming through from LinkedIn. This is the CEO of a group of companies who wants training for their MDs. Now, look what is. Oh, one of the things they want covered is differentiators. So again, differentiating is really, really important. So this is so relevant, guys. So next up, B2B lead generation hack number 4. No more connect and forget. There are 722 million members on LinkedIn. You do not need to connect to every single one to make a good living. You do not need to connect to every single one to hit your sales targets. And neither should you. If you try and sell to everybody, you'll end up selling to nobody. Now, what I would suggest is you've got most people on LinkedIn do not have a strategy, and here is a really simple strategy. Split your database into customers, influencers, leads, and connections. Now, customers are obviously customers. Influencers could be people within your industry. They could be press contacts. They could be contacts in industry organizations or industry bodies. They could be just thought leaders within your industry, but they are influencers. Uh, excuse me. Split your list: customers, influencers, leads would be. I would suggest that you've got a target list of minimum 50 companies that you're targeting, and I would encourage you to think big, right? Think big, right? And because then you're going to increase your average order value. Get a list of at least 50 leads that you're following, right? And you're interacting with it on LinkedIn. And then get a list of all your connections. They would be your first degree connections, and you can then message all these people and nurture them. How many people connect to you, and then other than saying, "Oh, thanks for connecting," you never hear from them again? Most of us could get 20% growth just by nurturing our first degree contacts. Now, how do you put this into a process? Simple spreadsheet down the bottom here, the tab behind the screen webcam video there, I beg your pardon, will say customers. Then you've got a tab for influencers, connections, leads, and all you do is just work your way through this. It's as simple as that. Work yourself through, and all of a sudden you've created a contact plan for yourself, right? And you can reach out to these people on a regular basis and comment, like, visit, and if you want to phone. Now, uh, it may well be that you're going to have to wait till a certain point and they've warmed up where you're going to phone, but the phone is still very relevant. Right, the phone is the number one sales tool if you manage to master it and get it right. So again, I'll share that. More than happy to share this, but please, no more connect and forget. Next up, lead generation hack number 4. Do you remember the hack number 1, which was the recommended search? Everybody remember that one? Here's the gold dust. So make a list of those top 10 to 50 organizations that you're targeting, right? And then work out what search terms they would be searching for to get sales leads for them. And then what you do is you then have got what better excuse to contact someone than say, hey George, I just came across this person, this company looking for a CRM provider, right? And I thought that might interest you. So take those top 50 companies that you're targeting, work out what would be a lead for them, right? Work out what the search phrase would be, right? And then you've got actual what gold dust to give your prospective customers, and also do this with your customers. So this might sound like a lot of hard work, but make life a process. So once you've worked out what the search terms are, plug it into Google Alerts. Go over to Google Alerts, plug in recommend a Microsoft partner, recommend a CRM, recommend a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, right? And then you're going to get updates straight to your inbox, sales leads for your customers, straight to your inbox every single day. And then you've got an excuse to contact them. Now, lots of salespeople are contacting customers and target prospects without providing any value. This is providing real value, guys. So, and it's easy and it's free. It's super easy, super free. So, in one word, please type in the chat in the comment section what your thoughts are on that particular hack. Just in one word, if you could please type in the chat what you think of that particular hack. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I'm conscious of time. So, hack number 5. B2B hack lead generation number 5. Let's move up a gear now and let's talk strategy. Now, training's great, but training is tactical. Strategy, when you get it right, this is a game changer. So training's great. Love doing training. Training's fantastic, but strategy and part of the training we do include strategy. Right, strategy is the game changer. So, what is the free ads hack, and how does it apply to B2B lead generation? So I'm sure some of you, either in the past or maybe more recently, have been in your local corner shop, and somewhere near the entrance there's a notice board, and on that notice board all the local contractors, all the local tradesmen have placed a business card. The patrons of that corner shop have placed that business card in there in the hope to attract some other shopper who's coming in, and they then see, oh, I'm looking for a carpenter. Here's John Smith Carpentry. So uh, you might find this in barber shops. I've seen them in my local barber's got one. You may have seen them in other supermarkets sometimes. I believe the supermarket's one you typically have to pay for. But in these ones, it's a free ad that the local tradesmen are putting up there to attract business. Now, what we're trying to do is, if we think strategically, most of our clients have got a great product and service, but what typically happens is when it comes to awareness, now if we look at the chart here on a 1 through 6, 1 being lousy, 6 being perfect, most of the people that we work with have got a product or a service that is a 4, 5 or a 6 out of 10, 4 or 5 out of 6 in terms of the quality, the reputation of that product or service. However, right, the reason they're struggling is that there is very little awareness in the marketplace of them, their products and services, their brand, their salespeople. Now, if you think about it, the top brands, the very top leaders in any industry are all in this top right-hand side, where they've got a great product or service, and they've also got number 6 in terms of awareness. So, Coca-Cola, everybody's heard of them, Starbucks, and Apple. Now, remember, it's only awareness within their target audience. You don't need to have awareness throughout the world like these guys do, right? It's just awareness with your target audience, and that goes back to your ICP, right? That's one of the benefits of having a strong ICP. So, Google is the modern day equivalent, the digital equivalent of the corner shop notice board. Now, there's 722 million members of LinkedIn, really powerful platform. On Google, there are 140,000 searches per second. Your prospects are on Google right now searching for your products and services, and unless they find them, right, they're going to go to the competition. The free ads, right? What we need to do is we need to get our free ads onto Google. This is the game changer for lead generation. So again, right, really important that I demonstrate there are no smoking mirrors here. This is a screenshot. So everybody, again, if you're watching the recording, if you're watching on YouTube, pause the video, please. Skip back to your browser and double check this. Type in training for telesales, just as it shows on the screen there. Type in training for telesales. And when you've done that, give me a thumbs up in the comments if you can see closers underneath the top 3 paid adverts. Now, I'm not against paid adverts. However, paid adverts, most people, depending on the country and the culture, certainly within the UK, most people just skip past the paid ads. And I'm too cheap to pay for these ads when I can do it for free. Why would you pay for an ad, right, when you can do this for free? So again, pause the video. I would like you to know that this is genuine, this is real. Pause the video and see if you can type in this training for telesales. Now, you're going to get different results based on your language, your geography. I know there's people dialing in from all over the world. You might get different results. However, it's the concept here. And you will see enough people in the comments and chat say with a thumbs up saying that this is real. I'll just give people a chance to do this. Great. Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up now. Good. So, now, remember, right? Remember our qualification qualification criteria. You've got to be in B2B, you've got to be hungry, and you've got to be open. Well, guess what? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry, right? One free ad, right, is just not enough for me. So, here is over 40. I think when we put this deck together on Friday, there's 41 free ads on page 1 of Google. 41. Now, again, I would encourage you, pause your video, right? Go back to your Google browser, check any of these keywords. Check any of these phrases that our prospects are actively searching for. I believe somebody is actually on this webinar because they were searching, or one of their colleagues was searching for sales training for consultants. So this stuff works. This stuff works, and I would encourage you to understand how this works and do this for yourself. So, and not only have we fixed lead generation now, right? We genuinely don't have time to do any prospecting. We've fixed lead generation now, but these free ads are going to be in Google for the next 4 or 5 years. As long as I don't do anything rash, and I just sort of do nice things from a Google perspective, these things are going to be up here for the next 4 or 5 years minimum, filling our pipeline. Last month we'd had a new client come on board from an article that was written in February 2020. Right now, it doesn't take that long to get a lead or a customer from it. But what I'm demonstrating is the residual value. In my mind, there's too much what I would describe as chip shop advertising, chip shop marketing, where there's a lot of stuff going out, and by tomorrow it's all forgotten about, it's gone. This has got a residual value, right? And this will serve our business for the next 4 to 5 years. Now, imagine what it would be like to sit and think to yourself, wait a minute, I don't have to worry about leads for the next 4 to 5 years. How cool would that be? Again, I would encourage you. I don't want this anybody to think that there's any smoking mirrors here. I'd encourage you to stop the video, stop the replay, the recording, go away, go to your Google browser, and check all of these. Now, on top of this, what's really important is some of you are going to be thinking, well, you've paid somebody to do this. This number one was 100% free. No cost to this at all other than my time. I did every single one. Nobody else in the business did this. I did every single one of these. No contractors involved. No agency involved. And we don't have a marketing department. So 100% free. No contractors. No agency. No outside agency. And no marketing department. Now, am I saying that you should not use an outside marketing partner, outside contractor as well? I would argue that each of those articles has got some what I would describe as hopefully subject matter expertise in it, and you as the salespeople, you as the business owners, you as the leadership team, you are the subject matter experts, not some outside contractor or some outside agency. So it's not enough just to have a free ad there. When they actually click on the free ad, you've got to be providing some form of value or they'll just skip off. So, this is the digital, modern, 22nd century, right, way of prospecting, right, that is applicable for everybody. So, thumbs up in the chat if you like the free ads hack for lead generation. Thumbs up in the chat if you can see that being a route for your own lead generation. Brilliant. Oh, sorry, I skipped forward there. A little bit more information on the free ads. You can see here, this is the software that we use to track everything. And you can see we have 65 free ads in the top 3 listings of Google. So page 1, top 3 entries on page 1, we've got 65. There's 115 on page 1 alone in the top 10. So, you could tell we're greedy, right? And this is what creates that consistent flow of leads, inbound leads into our business. So this was as of Friday the 8th of October 2021, which was when I put the deck together at the end of last week. So 65 in the top 3 and 115 in the top 10. Now, some of our competitors may stumble across this video. Some of our competitors may think, well, okay, we can do this. Yes, they could do this. However, if you can see, look at the daylight. Look at the clear daylight that we've got between our competitors down here. Now, these are multi-million pound organizations, multi-million pound, very successful training organizations, and look at closers up there. Now, this one up here is HubSpot. HubSpot's not a direct competitor of us. However, they compete with us for search terms because they're selling sales software. They're trying to compete with us on a lot of the search traffic. So, and to be fair to them, I would suggest that they are excellent and probably one of the best at what they do. And we put them up here because they're a good benchmark for us to compare ourselves with. We need to be better than the best. Right, we don't want to be down here thinking we're going to be better than HubSpot. We want to be better than HubSpot. So, right, but the important thing is we've got clear daylight between us and our competitors. Even if they all of a sudden switch on how to do this, right, and they get motivated to do it and they get hungry to do it, it will take them, I don't know, 18 months minimum to catch up with us. And we've not stopped. We've not stopped. I've got a backlog longer than your arm in terms of free ads that we're working on every single week. That we're working on to keep that clear and present distance between us and the competition. Now, again, some of you are going to be saying to yourself, "Well, wait a minute, I'm in sales. We don't have the time to do this. We don't have the resource to do this. So forgive me, the webcam's covering this. However, you can see that I'm just wondering if I could show you this. I could talk you through it anyway. So HubSpot, they've got 720 people in the marketing department. They've got over 1,000 people in sales. When I go on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I can do the search. Right, I can tell exactly how many employees they've got in each department. They've got 681 employees in business development. Now they've got in the top 100 number of keywords, they've got 100 to 170, and the average position is 20. So the average position of all their keywords is 20. Closers, nobody in marketing, nobody in sales, nobody in business development. Growth, that's me, right? That's me, one guy. Now, we've got a team of people who do the delivery. We've got a team of people who do the delivery, but they're focused on delivery. I'm the only one that does the lead generation. Now, why am I calling myself growth and not in anything else? Well, most of our customers come to us because they can't generate enough leads. They're not getting the sales they want, and that's because everybody's still using this traditional silo organizational function of marketing and sales. You've got to bring sales and marketing together. The best marketeers can sell, the best salespeople can market. You've got to bring them together and focus on growth. Focus on growth, right? The metrics for growth are way more important than the metrics for marketing and sales. So we're going to be doing a video on this in the future, but I would encourage anybody, if you're still, your organization is still traditionally structured in terms of sales and marketing, right, you're missing a trick. Switch on over to growth, right? It's super simple, super easy. However, I understand there are going to be salespeople in this webinar who they've been salespeople all their life and they don't want to lose that tag. I've still got the tag on LinkedIn because the LinkedIn algorithm in my job title is based on sales trainer, sales coach. So I still use it, but in my head, in my business, we're focused on growth and I'm the guy in the growth department. So I'm not showing you this to brag in any way. I'm showing you so that you can see. Right, we don't need a team of 1,000 people in marketing. We don't need a team of 1,000 salespeople, right? If whatever size your team, you can do this. You can do this. What's that saying that we use all the time? It's not the size of dog in the fight. It's the size of fight in the dog. And again, I go back to it. You've got to be hungry. So hopefully this makes sense. There were some people who are on this webinar because they're thinking about trying to understand how we would work with them. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. Typically, everything that we do is in teams. We do face-to-face training, but it's supported by teams so that we get the new behavior, strategies, tactics embedded after the training, which is the most important key to getting results. Inside the Teams channel, you've got access to all these different templates and tools that we use. Ideal customer profiles, perfect prospect profiles, so that you can exactly make sure that you're fast tracking your sales. And I've lost track. I think there's around 100 different templates that you would get access to. So that's it. If you'd like to get ahead of the competition and start generating a consistent, if you'd like to get ahead of the competition and start generating a consistent flow of sales leads, just follow these 5 hacks. And it's almost impossible not to sell more if you just do those 5 hacks. Most of our customers, our clients, they're not just hungry, they're in a hurry. And our job is to provide that fast track process so that they don't waste their own time trying to work it out. It's taken us years to work out all this stuff. So most of our clients are in a hurry for that success, which is great. And what they don't want is to lose the next 12 months of market share while they're trying to work all these things out. So if you would like to take on the big brands in your vertical and win, create a repeatable and scalable lead generation process, and most importantly, never have to worry about leads or your missed sales targets ever again, please contact us through the website, www.closers.com. Just a reminder, you've got to be in B2B, you've got to be hungry, and you've got to be open to change and committed. So please feel free to reach out to us on the website, via the website or LinkedIn, whatever works for you. Lastly, if you're watching via the website or via YouTube, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us. And please, for the YouTube guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for your time and have a great sales day.